everyone, it's Sarah, and today I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I do not think gets talked about enough. Not to say that it's something that doesn't get talked about, I just think it should be talked about more, which is injury prevention. Now, I am someone who has struggled with a few injuries, and these are all tips that I wish I knew about. Now, for the first thing I would like to talk about, it's not something that's going to apply to everyone, but if you know you're someone who has knee issues, I would really recommend that you do not stretch oversplits very much. This is what an oversplit is, if any of you don't know, and basically, just as you can see, how my foot is up on this thing, stretching it down can kind of put some pressure on your knee that's up, like right here, just because it can kind of pressure it to hyperextend and bend the wrong way. Now, it's not like everyone who does oversplits gets knee issues or anything. There are people who do oversplits and are safe, but I am someone who does have knee issues, so for me, I would not stretch oversplits very often. I mean, obviously I'm doing it in this image, so it's not like doing oversplits will kill you or anything. It's just something to keep in mind if you have knee problems. And yeah, now for the next one, it's going to be for people who really stretch your back, and especially if you're feeling back pain. One thing that is important is to work on your core strength. Now, a lot of people know that for strength, that if you want a flexible back, you should also work on strengthening your back, but I at least never knew that if you wanted a flexible back, having a strong core was also important. Now, you don't need to have a super strong core. I know that I do not have a super strong core, but if you have a really flexible back and you do struggle with a back pain, or if you're just stretching your back to be flexible and want to preemptively prevent back pain, I would suggest doing some core exercises. Now, it's not like you need to do just a ton of core strength exercises, but you can't just have a completely weak core because that will be dangerous. And also, for the topic of your back, one thing, I know that this does get talked about a lot, but I would just also say is remember to stretch your back forwards and stuff, because I mean, I do it a little bit, but I always kind of thought it was a waste of time, and it did worsen my back pain. But yeah, definitely do that. And then kind of the last thing I really want to talk about is just to really work on winging your feet and stuff when you point them, because I was always someone who didn't really like to wing my feet, because when you wing your feet, it makes it harder to point them. And I always, for a long time, didn't really think it was that big of a deal. And it was just something that people would talk about just to make your foot look better and make your lines look better, that I never really cared about. But actually, if you do not work on winging your feet enough, and especially if you have a sickling problem, that is something you really have to work on, because that can really lead to being injured. I have sprained my ankles a bunch, and just to work on strength that way and winging your feet, this is a very common exercise, but in case you've never heard of it, you just take a TheraBand and then I put it over my little toes. That hurt. Okay, now it's too low. I am failing at placing my TheraBand. Just up here, and then just practice swinging it, and then do the other side. So yeah, those are the main tips I wanted to talk about for preventing injury, and I hope this helps some of you not get injured.